All right, welcome in everybody. Cash and Ticket special Preakness edition. The 148th running of the Preakness Stakes takes place Saturday, May the 20th at Pimlico Park. Right, Paul? Not Laurel. It's Pimlico. Same state. I'm pretty sure. All Maryland, right?
Took us
Over
a
there
minute.
in Maryland
We
somewhere.
got there. We're good.
So we're coming to you with another edition of the horse racing, like we did for the Kentucky Derby. We're here to talk about the Preakness, and we're going to give you a little PGA Championship preview since it kicks off tomorrow on Thursday, May the 18th. So stay tuned for that after we get done with the horses. So, Paul, how you been since last time we spoke?
Pretty good. We survived Kentucky Derby Day. If everybody saw the pictures.
Yeah, I mean our horse. I guess one thing about Angel of Empire, he didn't completely crap the
Yeah.
bed. I mean, he did finish third there.
No,
He just,
I had I won a little taste. I
we
wasn't.
get
It
too.
wasn't terrible.
The show bet on him paid off pretty good, so
I tell you
wasn't
what's.
bad.
I tell you where I have been terrible is to pick fours and fives. I can't get out of the first race. I don't care if I had them all.
I guess I should have tweeted out my little pick five that we got in that day because I hit the late pick five there at Churchill Downs. That included the Kentucky Derby and a couple other stakes races, right? And then a couple of allowance races after the Derby there. We weren't watching those. We were busy doing other things after the big race.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise, entertaining.
that's right. I hope you checked Twitter out. Saw we were all dressed up, dolled up there. Went to the Laurel Lounge there at the Horseshoe in Robinsonville. Had us a big time watching the Kentucky Derby. Congratulations to Mage and Javier Castellano, right, was the jockey there that rode Mage to the victory, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention. I mean, I saw it when it happened, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. So when Mage was loading in the gate, he reared up a couple of times.
And still won the thing.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are saying that's because he was juiced to the bejesus. But if he was, then we would have known by now.
Yeah, I mean, you hope.
So,
You hope once.
but keep that thought in your head because I'm going to use it later.
Yeah, there's a horse going back to his regular trainer for the Preakness, where he is not suspended to run.
No.
So I guess we don't have much else going on. I know NBA basketball is now getting down to the conference finals, but we don't concentrate too much there. I like to dip into some prop bets on that, but
Yeah,
I mean,
single game parlay last night, pretty good. But
yeah.
other than that,
Well, that's good. I saw the LeBron got over his 8.5 rebounds.
yeah, cleared that by a half, and Michael Porter over 14.5. He got 15. So I was on the right side of the half point on on the same. That's incredible.
Well done.
Yeah, way to go.
I thought he got 12 boards.
Who?
I thought LeBron got 12 boards last night.
Oh well, maybe it was. There was another one on there. Only made it by half.
By a half point.
Yeah, I ain't got the ticket with me. It's my other.
Big triple double by Jokic last night to bring the Nuggets home. All right, so let's get it. Preakness Stakes is going to be run. It's the 13th race there at Pimlico on Saturday, May the 20th. Post time is about, 5:40 there for that race, Paul? Something like that. Eastern time, I believe. Yeah. So it's a short field this year. There's only 8 horses running. I think you had about 11 or 12 probables, but obviously you had 3 or 4 back out prior to the draw this past Monday. So we're down to 8 horses, and the only horse that ran in the Derby is Mage, of course, the winner. So he's the only one running here that's coming off the Kentucky Derby. So the rest of the horses are fresh. Couple of names in here you'll know. A couple you may not know because a couple of them we've talked about and bet on before. So, Paul, you got any tidbits about the Preakness you want to mention before we get into the horses themselves?
We got some fun facts.
I know you'd have us something.
Well, it's something I think we both need to watch out for. I'm not sure if this is the 142nd or 3rd Preakness.
148.
48.
148.
All right, there we go. So 50% of the winners out of Preakness are favorites.
Okay.
So that's a huge number.
It's a big number for favorites.
So
yeah.
I mean, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but this race tends to be a front runner. Mm-hmm. Whoever you don't really want to go out and get a whole lot of odds here, which we love to do. The 6th post has won 17 times. No horse greater than a 20-1 has ever won this race.
Okay, that's something to remember.
And then 15 winners with the letter S.
The letter S. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that helps or hurts, but.
And I had actually, you inspired me last when we did the Derby. Got a couple of facts myself. The last because there's a Maryland breed running Saturday. The last Maryland breed to win the Preakness was Testimony in 1983. So it's been a little while since a Maryland breed has won the Preakness. I brought this up because we've talked about it before. We talked about post positions, and you had it. I had it too. Post 6 has got the most Preakness wins, and every post from 1 through 8 has double-digit wins. You want inside post in this race. The problem is we only have 8 horses, so I don't think anybody gets an advantage here.
That's a loaded stat, isn't
Right?
it?
I mean, it's like it doesn't really matter because 1 through 8 is really good, and we only have 8. So like one of the horses here that it's got short odds, First Mission. He has the 8 post, and he's a front runner, but he's not going to have any problem. He shouldn't have too much problem getting to a spot or maybe taking the lead from the gate because it's only 8 horses. So
yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the Derby where you didn't want the 1 through 3, 4, maybe 5, but this one, it's not going to hurt you any.
That's right.
So.
All right, let's get in the horses. Let's talk about them. Anything you got special? I know a couple of them maybe neither one of us are going to be looking too much at, but let's talk about them.
All right. Let's go 1.
Yeah, we'll just 1 through 8. We'll talk about each horse.
Just want to National Treasure 4-1.
Let me bring up the. I think I got it here. Yeah, there we go. Bring up the list.
You want to introduce them and we'll talk about them?
Yeah, the number 1, National Treasure. He's ridden by John Velasquez. His trainer is Bob Baffert. Right out the gate, we alluded to it there earlier. He's a stalker. He is top EQ speed is 101. I think, Paul, do you have I got the DRF up. We can give them buyer speeds, I think, from the DRF.
I don't have the buyer, but I do have their ratings. So I don't know if it's the early, late speed and all that. I don't have what he's done in the last 3.
So he had a 95. Aren't these the buyer speeds right there?
Well, yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
They're equivalent.
They're equivalent, yeah. So ran a 95 in his last race where he did National Treasure came in 4th, I believe, that was in the Santa Anita Derby where Practical Move won and Mandarin Hero and Skinner were 2 and 3 there. So didn't have a big race there, came in 4th. So anyway, the number 1 National Treasure.
Yeah, so we use DRF as kind of our guide to figure out, we do our own research. We also use that website for information a lot too. And they use their own set of ratings. So they have an early, late speed rating, which National Treasure here, they got a 109, which anything over 100 is going to be good. And then there's late speeds 98, so it's a good horse.
He can get out and go, but his late kick is not going to be great.
No, it's not going to be as, it's not going to be as good. There's some with way worse numbers, but we'll go through that. The one thing I do want to say, kind of like with the Maze thing, if you see this horse acting up early, I don't know if it means anything or not, but I don't trust Baffert at all. I mean, he's trying to make a name for himself, so, the comeback,
Yeah, that's true.
They won't let him in the state of Kentucky, so, but I like the horse, Baffert Velasquez. I don't mind betting. Another rating tool they use is a trainer rating. Now, this doesn't mean the trainer is better or worse than another trainer. This is just based on the track they're on, the conditions, dirt, turf, whatever, and then the jockey. It's like 5 tools they use to get this trainer rating. So this horse trainer rating is 60, which just really doesn't have a lot to do with the horse, but it's the people around him. So
yeah.
Anyway, as we go down these numbers, I'm going to name those. So a 60 is out of 100, basically. So 60's, But anyway, it's a Bob Baffert horse. You never know. He might be coked up. Hell, who knows?
No.
Anyway.
He ran 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year, 4th in the Santa Anita Derby, like I mentioned. He's going to add blinkers, and sometimes that gets a horse to focused better going down the track. So I don't know that he's got what it takes here, but like Paul said, you got to always be wary of a Bob Baffert horse coming in, especially in one of these big races. Mm-hmm. You don't know, they're going to accidentally spill something into the hay or in the sweet feed or
What did he say? Somebody took a leak on the
hay?
Yeah,
somebody took a leak on the hay, and that's how the last horse got tested for juice. So
Arnold Schwarzenegger pissed on the hay. Jesus.
That's a good excuse as any, I guess. I don't know what
you don't buy that one. I got some more.
I mean, at 4-1, it's such short odds for a horse that I just don't know if he's got what it takes. I mean, he's already proven he can't beat some of the horses that were going to, and the only one that ran in the Derby ended up being Mandarin Hero out of that Santa Anita Derby because Skinner and Practical Move scratched. But so we'll see what he does. I don't know that it's a horse I'm looking to, especially at 4-1. For me to take National Treasure, I'd probably need 7-1, 8-1.
Yeah,
But
I mean, short of him standing up, starting to box people on that thing, I'd probably stay away from him too.
yeah. All right, so we'll go to the number 2 horse. That is Chase the Chaos. He is ridden by Sheldon Russell and his trainers, Ed. I guess that's Mogert Jr. He's talking about some names I have not heard before. I had to try to look it up. He starts off at 50-1. His best EQ speed was a 98, and he is identified as a closer.
All right, so as much stats and information we gave you on National Treasure, I'm going to go the opposite here and just say toss him. Don't worry about looking too deep into this. It's just not good enough. I mean, the only thing I like about this horse is the name. Like, if you're just blindly betting and you see Chase the Chaos, you're like, I like that horse. You bet. But if you're 50-1 in an eight horse field, you ain't got a chance.
Yeah. Well, another thing here, I'm looking. He's got 8 career starts. And he's got, out of those 8 starts, he's only ran on dirt twice.
Shit.
His last, let's see, 5 out of his last 6 races have been on the synthetic.
Yeah, that's why they call him Chase the Chaos, because that's just basically what he's going to be doing, just chasing them around. Yeah, just toss that horse. If you just got money and you just wanted to throw $20 at a show bet on it, whatever, but...
I'm surprised he's in there as a closer. Sometimes you'll see people put in pace horses, but he comes in 50-1 as a closer. I just don't know if he's going to have anything there. All right, so we'll go to the 3rd horse. That is, of course, your Kentucky Derby winner, Mage, ridden by Javier Castellano, trained by Gustavo Delgado. He is a kind of a stalker, closer horse. He doesn't get out of the gate real good, but he did register a 105 in the Derby. So here he is trying to get the second leg of the Triple Crown. That's your Derby winner, Mage, Paul.
Maybe the second best horse on the planet besides Forte at 3 years old. I don't know. I don't.
Wouldn't you love to see Forte run? I mean, I
don't know what they're doing. I don't know why. I don't know why it's set up the way it has. I mean, hell, just put some Skinner and put anybody in this race.
What I'm more surprised about Skinner and Practical Move because they didn't run in the Derby. You'd think they'd be ready to go here. I understand why the trainers and owners are not running like, say, Angel of Empire, Mandarin Hero, some of these other horses, because they ran, and it's a quick turnaround. What's the point of running if you're not the Derby winner? You knew.
And if you don't like if you want the longer longer distance, then
this ain't the race. This is shorter.
If you miss the first leg, there's no sense in it unless
because this is a 1 3/16 race.
So early rating on Mage is a 94. His late rating's a 109. It means he's overall the horse to beat here.
Man, he's coming hard at the end.
He's probably going to settle 4th or 5th, maybe 3rd, and then the back stretch he's just going to start kicking and see what anybody's got left. I don't look for any kind of pace here. I don't know if there's a horse out there that can set a pace. There's some. I mean, I get it, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. You may see like one horse just run out there by itself, but I don't know. We'll see. Best horse in the field by far. 8-5 probably becomes 3-5.
He's probably going to go off at 3-5. Yeah, 4-5 at post time is going to be the best you're going to get, which is just no fun.
And worst thing happens here if you get 2 scratches. I mean, it's going to be ugly. It's not. I mean, I got a note down here at the bottom. It's just if this wasn't the Preakness, I probably wouldn't even bet this race. I mean,
the one thing you can do here is you can, since Mage does look like the clear best horse in this field, is you key Mage in some trifectas.
Yeah.
You key him, and then you can put 3 to 4 horses in the 2nd, 3rd position, and if he wins, you get a couple of long shots in the 2nd and 3rd, then you can get a pretty good payout on a try.
Yeah, would you single him here?
In a pick 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If I'm peeled in a pick 4 or 5, I'm just going to single Mage and hope for the best.
I don't hate that. I don't.
That way I can build my ticket around that, and I can get prices in those other races.
He's gonna win this.
I mean, the way that he's been improving, and what's great about the Derby is that basically, we were kind of up in arms about, what did that race that he lost to Forte prove to us? We wasn't sure if he was that good a horse, and Forte wasn't very good. I think that shows you just how good Forte was, and also how bad. I talked about it over and over. The jockey made the error in that race. Right. In that floor, he made a way too early move, and Mage just couldn't hold on, and Forte was able to run him down, which proves to me that both horses are probably your two standout 3-year-olds right now.
Yeah,
I would say.
I'd like to see what happens with them two.
I mean, Mage he is
maybe at the Belmont and that long back stretch.
The
front, coming down the wire.
His speed numbers have gotten better every single race, and he continues to improve. Yeah. And this is only his 5th start.
Yeah, the trainer rating here is a 73, which means it bodes well for how the trainer does with the other horses and the jockey does with the other horses and all that good stuff. So everything's looking like just bet Mage. As long as if you can get him at even money, do it. I wouldn't hate singling him in a pick 4, pick 5, or keying him in exacta, trifecta, superfectas like Franklin's talking about. I don't think there's enough talent to beat him.
I don't either.
Short of him falling down.
Because the jockey's good enough, the trainer's good enough, the horse is absolutely good enough. So if Javier just makes a move at the right time, no matter who's in front, I think Mage can run them down. Yeah. And it just got to do it at. It's different than the Derby. You're cutting back in distance, so you got to know when to make that move. And obviously these jockeys know when. They got poles out there. They know where they are on the track. So, I'm just with Mage. I'm building tickets around him and say just get him home, and then I'll get my prices everywhere else.
Yeah, don't think because we give you a pick today that we're picking this horse to actually go win it. We were picking Mage. Well, I'm picking Mage to win but I'm not going to bet on him because we're trying to make money. So
that's right. Yeah.
All right.
I think he's clearly the best horse in the field. And so if you said, hey, give us a Preakness winner, well, I'm taking the Derby winner. I'm taking Mage. I think he's the best horse in the field.
If you get a future bet that locks you in at whatever odds it is, then I would go do that. But other than that.
Yep. All right. So let's go on to the 4-horse. That is Coffee with Chris all together there. He is ridden by Jamie Rodriguez. I think that may be Jaime Rodriguez. What do you think?
Sure,
probably. Most likely. Trained by John Salzman Jr. Let's see. He's got 12 lifetime starts. This is his 13th start. His sires ride on Curlin, which is obviously his sire was Curlin himself. So he's a grandson to Curlin, right? That would make him. He's a dark brown horse. His best speed last out. His best speed was an 88. His last out was an 82, where he did not hit the board. He got beat. I think he finished 5th in a race that Perform, who's also running in this race, won. So don't see a lot from Coffee with Chris.
I think this is the horse that goes out there and sets the pace.
He is a pace setter, so you got to hope that he decides to maybe take the lead and just see what he can do from the front.
Early speed, they got him rated as a 114, and then his late speed's a 70, so he's just going to dial off at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's I mean, there may be two. There's just not enough horses here to go out there and push the pace like it needs to be to beat Mage. It's Mage, but
I mean, Coffee with Chris here, he's going to have to go, and you hope. And the way I want to bet this race, I kind of hope he goes with another horse in here. So like Paul said, his late kick is not very good. So his best option is to get out there on the front and try to go and try to hold as long as he can. And this is your Maryland bred colt, by the way. This is Coffee with Chris. He's a Maryland breed. So there's going to be a lot of hoopla around this horse because there's going to be a lot of love for him, a lot of local love for Coffee with Chris. Big step up in class. He hasn't been running against horses like this in his life. So we'll see what happens with the 4-horse here. I don't even know if I got him for exotic bets, but maybe
I got
Maybe
nothing. I'm
a
not.
local hero gets something like
I
that.
mean, if he had a cool name, maybe, but I ain't
Yeah.
nothing. I
All
mean,
right. So we'll go to actually a horse. I got a soft spot for this horse, number 5, Red Route 1, ridden by Joel Rosario, trained by Steve Asmussen. He's a deep closer, as they like to say, or a plotter. When you watch him come out of the
I
watch him
learned a
come out
new
of the
word this week.
yeah, watch him come out of the gate. It's just, man, is he walking or what's he doing there? Red Route One's got an EQ speed of 102, and his last buyer was a 92 that he actually where he won. He won his last race on April the 23rd. Now he's raced against big competition. I mean, he's gone up against Angel of Empire and Reincarnate and Instant Coffee, Two Fields, Forte. I mean, he's only got 2 lifetime wins, though, out of 9 starts, and most of that's due to he just can't quite catch at the end. But he comes hard really late. So you just got to hope there's got to get some pace. This is kind of the horse that I want to throw some money at to see if he can catch some pace up front. Like Paul mentioned, he don't think we see it. Got to hope Coffee with Chris kind of helps stimulate some of that. But it's got to be a fast pace for him to ever win it. I don't have any grand illusion that Red Route 1 can get the win here. I just think that he's going to come hard late. Hopefully Rosario can keep him closer and not be 8, 10. I mean, he averages, when you look at these PPs here, I mean, he's averaging 8 to 11 lengths behind the leader out of the gate when he starts. And even at the quarter pole and at the half mile mark, he's still 8, 9, 10 lengths out. So he's going to have to be closer. And with only 8 horses, maybe Rosario can keep him closer. And maybe he can close and maybe pull a second or pull a third. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, if you're new to horse racing and you want to bet this horse, don't freak out in the opening quarter or half, because he is not gonna. He's gonna be able to see them all.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, he won his last race at Oaklawn. He won as a mile and an eighth race. So this one is just a little longer. Preakness, a mile and 3/16. So just hope there's not a slow pace. If it's a slow pace up front, he's never going to catch these horses.
I don't know how they're gonna. Anyways,
He's never going to catch them. So we'll go to the 6. This is Perform, ridden by I can't. It looks like Feargal Lynch, and trained by Shug McGahee.
no.
This is another stalker. Of course, you don't have any pace horses in this race. His best EQ was a 98. His top buyer speed looks like his last race was an 85. He's making his 8th career start, and he's won his last 2 starts. One at Tampa Bay and one at Laurel Park. So here's Perform, the 6, Paul, at 15 to 1. Well, you got anything on this
I
horse?
do. It's early ratings 95, late ratings 92. Good solid horse. He's probably gonna settle right in there in front or behind Mage. He could cause a lot of problems for Mage. I don't know. I just don't know enough about the horse. I don't think talent wise he can run. I don't hate him to show.
Yeah.
And this is my problem, this whole deal. I know we're going through the horses, but I want to talk a little bit about this. You look into this thing, you're looking for a number, and, when it comes close to post time, all these numbers are going to go crazy as far as, you're looking for a good 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 to 1 to show. And I just don't know if we're going to be able to find it. Performance, he's probably going to be 8 to 1.
Yeah. He'll come down from that 15 to 1.
Red Route 1's going to freaking take a damn, tell him what he'll be.
I mean, yeah, he can be anything from 5 to 1 to 12 to 1. I mean, it could go up, it could go down. I just don't know it just depends on what people, if they think there's going to be pace, they're going to bet Red Route 1 because he's the best closer in the field.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's about 4 horses I see is about equal. And I think I might just take the best price.
Just the best price. I don't hate that.
But
I mean,
anyway,
why not? Why
gonna,
not?
I'm going to give a pick here at the end. But anyway.
So yeah, on Perform, the thing here, he super slow start. I mean, he did not hit the board, but twice in his first 5 starts, and then he won his last 2. So he won at Tampa Bay on March 23rd. He won at Laurel Park on April 23rd, and he's gotten better speeds each time, which what that shows you is you got a horse that's improving. So what's hard about that is he going to improve enough in this race to get it done? And he would have to take a 15-point jump in his speed to do anything in this race. So he's hard for me. I just don't know. I guess I should. I mean, here's the thing: his sire is the same. I mean, this is another good Mage is a good Magic who's out of Curlin. Perform is a good Magic horse who is out of Curlin. I mean, so he's got the pedigree.
I tried to look and just kind of envision how it would go that Mage doesn't win this race, and I mean, he's in the 3 spot. He's in the perfect spot. I don't.
I just don't know how anybody else gets it done.
I mean, 15-1, man. If it stays there, I like everything about this horse.
All right, we'll move to the 7. Speaking of 7, Blazing Sevens. He's ridden by Irad Ortiz Jr., trained by Chad Brown. He opens it up at 6-1. Blazing Sevens is also out of Good Magic, who's out of Curlin. He's a dark brown horse. His last speed was a 90. And he's got 3 90s in there, and he had a 58 when he came up against Forte and Rocket Can and Cyclone Mischief, and he just had nothing back on March the 23rd at Gulfstream Park. And then he ran at Keeneland, and he finished 3rd behind Tappet, Trice, and Verifying, but he wasn't close. I mean, he finished 3 lengths off the lead there. So I know there's a lot of love for Blazing Sevens. He's got the people.
See, here's my problem. I love the name. I love all that. And you go through here and you're like, oh, man, I like Blazing Sevens. I think I bet him once this year. I don't think he did anything for me, but I think he's a good horse. So you're thinking, so Blazing Sevens probably going to be about a 14-1, 15-1. You go down there and you go 6-1.
6-1.
What the hell is that about?
Yeah.
And it's not the horse. It's the damn Brown Irad combination. They can damn sure get it done 100%. Big closer here. You're going to have, but when you got 3 or 4 horses going to be all closing at the same time, it's going to be something.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I just don't.
I'm with you. The connections are great. Chad Brown won the Preakness last year with early voting. Can Blazing Sevens take a step here? Here's one thing that does scare me is his first 2 starts, Manny Franco was his jockey.
Yeah.
His next 2 starts is Flavian Pratt.
Right.
And then in the Fountain of Youth, Rosario rode him. And then in the Bluegrass, Irad Ortiz rode him. So I just think these jockeys, I guess the only thing good here is that, I don't know if Irad's just looking to get a Preakness mount, but does he think there's something there in this horse, and that's why he's staying on him, or I don't know.
Man, I don't know. He's not a top 5 horse. He's not, I don't know what.
I see Blazing Sevens as this horse that could continue to run throughout his career. He'll run as a 4 and a 5-year-old in grade 3s and lower level races. He's got to get around his right company, his friends, and I don't think these horses are his friends.
And in 2 years, we'll be drunk by the pool, and it'll be like Churchill Down or some shit, and we'll be like,
6-year-old Blazing
Sevens. You remember that horse, don't you? I think so.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's right.
No, my point here is, he shouldn't be 6-1.
No, he should be like 10-1. In my eyes, I don't know what makes him a 6-1 other than his jockey and his trainer.
He has run against the big boys. I will give him that. He beat Verifying, which is not even. But when you talk about the elite horses, he hadn't been able to get it done. So
he finished. He didn't hit the board in a race that had Forte, Cave Rock, and National Treasure. He didn't hit the board in a race that had Forte, Rocket Can, and Cyclone Mischief. He finished 3rd behind Tappet, Trice, and Verifying. But just to say he finished 3rd is one thing, but Tappet, Trice, and Verifying were way out in front having a duel. So finishing 3rd is not it's not like he was in the mix
and
there.
Once again, he's going to have a fast pace. I don't know where he's going to get it from. But,
I don't know what he has. I'm kind of fading Blazing Sevens myself, and I hate to do that. I mean, if this was a turf race, he's my favorite because Chad Brown on the turf is my guy. But I don't know. I just don't see it in the 7 there. So we'll move out to the 8 horse, and one of the other intriguing horses here. That's First Mission, ridden by Louis Saez, trained by Brad Cox. He's another dark brown horse. He's out of Street Sense and Elude, and his last buyer speed in the Lexington, which he won, was a 98.
I like this horse.
Making only his 4th start, by the way. So just like Mage, it's a lightly ridden horse, and he's got fresh legs.
He will go out to the lead, probably 2nd or 3rd behind Coffee with Chris.
Let me ask you a question while you're on that. Just, do you not think First Mission maybe just decides to take the lead here and see if he can't gate to wire him? Because he's basically he's one of the best speeds in the race.
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough kick at the end to get it done. I just don't know.
I think that's his best win option. To me, that's just me looking at it in my own 2 eyes. But
yeah, I really beat myself up trying to figure out how this thing's going to play out. I mean, I'm not kidding. I like to try to figure it all out. I mean, if you look at, let's go back to what we need to be at here.
Oh, and on his dam, his dam is Elude, and Elude is out of the old Doro horse that you love so much.
Megalodoro?
Yeah.
All right, so early pace, they got the 418, which would be the Coffee with Chris, of course, and then National Treasure, and then
First Mission,
which is kind of what we're talking about here. And then they got it 318 with Mage just coming roaring home. 5 with the late pace, so to speak, which means that they think he's going to close the most ground, but he's not going to get there.
Not going to get there. That's my fear.
Yeah, he won't be close enough.
Yeah.
And this is not it's a horse race for guys, but it's not as long as some of the bigger name horse races. So, oh man, I don't. Fuck.
So we've given you all the horses. We've shown them to you. You got all the information that you need there, Paul. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. I think we've both given our winner. I think we both think Mage wins this race, right?
Mage, in my opinion, wins the race.
All right, so how are we betting this sucker? How are we going to make some money on this race right here?
It's hard for me not to.
I will.
We're going to be on the same horse. Probably.
You know what? I'm going to give you my trifecta right now.
All right.
I'm gonna key, and you got to be careful. You got to watch these trifectas. Now you can go 1, 2, 3, and you can say the 3's going to finish first, and the 8's going to finish second, and that's a cheap bet. But boy, you got to get the exact order. Then you can box where you can put 4 horses in a pool, basically, and if any of those 4 finish 1, 2, 3, you win. You can also do a key where you can key 1 horse in 1 position and then build your other spots, and so it makes it a little cheaper bet, kind of like doing a box, but you key a horse. So I'm going to key Mage as the winner.
Okay.
And then in the 2 and the 3, I'm going to put the same 4 horses in the 2 and the 3. So it's going to be Red Route 1, Perform, First Mission, and National Treasure. I got to throw Perform. I'm kicking out Blazing Sevens mainly because of his odds, and I just don't know if he can get it done. And Coffee with Chris, yeah, those are your big odds, but I don't think Coffee with Chris or Chase of Chaos can stay 2 or 3. So I'm going to take the other 4 horses, put them in the 2nd, 3rd position, see if I can't get something there, make a little money off it won't be big money. I mean, but you don't have to do a 50-cent trifecta. You can do a $2 trifecta or a $5 trifecta, and then once you key and do your other positions, it may be, $30, $50 or whatever, but it'll pay. The more you put in, the better it'll pay.
So all right? So initially, I was going to bet Blazing Sevens, but the 6-1 has got, because it's not going to be 6-1 unless he just goes the opposite way. Because we're talking about making money. Even if he doesn't win, we're looking for a place in the show.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So
I mean, then what do you, I mean, National Treasure's 4-1. First
No,
Mission is
well,
5-2.
here's my
It's
thing.
just
Here's
awful.
here's my thing. Does Blazing Sevens have a chance to win? No.
Mm.
Does National Treasure have a chance to win? I
I think
they,
maybe.
I think maybe. If you're gonna go that route, which we all know, but if
The
something,
post, the jockey.
if Mage takes a right turn out of the gate,
Yeah.
who's the second best horse? Is it National Treasure
Or
is
First Mission.
or his First Mission? To me, it's going to be National Treasure. So I'm going to win, play, show National Treasure,
Okay.
and I'm probably going to go. Since the odds are 4-1, I'm probably going to go. I'll probably go a little on the win and then go deep on the place and show.
I don't hate it.
That's just where I'm going to be because that one position is not. It's not. I mean it's not the same as the Kentucky Derby. It's not. I mean he's not hurt. He's in a good spot. Baffert needs good things to happen to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, give me the one win, play, show. You know.
All right.
What
So
we gonna
the
do?
one horse I'm gonna bet, I think I already alluded to it earlier. And I'm gonna watch the pools because I got a funny feeling that there's gonna be a bunch of show place and
All right,
show bets.
Explain the pools to them.
All right, so what happens is so all the bets we make. So like Paul makes a win and a place and a show bet. It's 3 bets on one horse. So he's gonna say he's gonna do $5 on National Treasure to win, and then he'll do 10 or 15 on National Treasure to place, which is to finish in second place, and then say $30 on the show. And shows third place. So he'll do $30, and you hope that. So every dime that's put in those positions. So he puts $15 in the place. I put $20 in the place. Now that's $35, right, or 40, whatever. I can't remember how much I said in a pool. So you look at every horse, and you look at pools, and you can see how much money across the nation has been bet on that horse to finish in that position, whether it be the win, the place, or the show. And when you look at those pools, you can see you'll see why your favorite is your favorite, because it'll show that all the money's been bet on him to win. Yeah. And the more money that gets bet on him to win, the worse the odds get. Yeah. And so these lines, these 10-1s, these 15-1s, these 6-1s, those lines only matter for the win bet. They don't matter for the show and the place in the show, because those are drawn from the pool. So if you, and it's percentage of the pool. So if you bet a horse to place that had very little money bet on him to place, then you'll win big. Yep. But even if your horse goes off at, say, 10-1, if everybody in the country thought he could at least finish second and they bet a whole bunch of money on him, then your payout is still going to be small. So it's hard to, so you kind of got to find you a website where you can, and on DRF, you can go and click and you can see pools and probables, and you can see how much money is being bet. And I'm scared there's going to be a lot of place and show bet on Red Route 1. I mean, like his odds he may still be 10-1, but that's only coming from the win bet. Yeah. So nobody's going to be betting on him to win.
So those pools he's talking about, it doesn't affect the win. The win is the win. If it's 10-1, you're going to get $10 off your $1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change.
That's right.
Where it affects it is the place and show.
That's right. Yeah, those pools, because if $100,000 is bet on this race in the place, $100,000 have been placed for these horses to place. It's funny. It's to play. Keep using the word to finish in second place.
Runner up.
Yeah, runner up. If $100,000 has been bet total, the whole pool is $100,000, and I put my money on a horse that had 40,000 of that just on him. Well, that ain't gonna pay very good. So you gotta look at that too. And I'm scared there's going to be a lot of place and show bets. So I'm going to watch the pools on Red Route 1. I just kind of have an affinity for the horse. I love the way most people hate closers because you never know if they're going to be back too far, if they're going to close. You have to have pace. It's just a fun horse for me. I like the name. I love the jockey. And I like to see a horse come around that last turn, and he's coming out
Ear-
wide,
Ears laid back.
and here he comes. And I just Blazing Sevens and Perform, and they just don't do anything for me. And then the low odds on First Mission. Of course, he's going to have to front run this thing.
No.
So I don't think Red Route can win, but I am going to go across the board. And if something happens, First Mission and Coffee with Chris gets out there in a damn showdown in the first half mile. Hey, you never know.
And Mage decides to go with them.
And Mage goes with them. It could be trouble. So I don't think he can win. But yeah, second place in show, I'm going to Red Route 1 to hope to get some odds there.
Right.
But I don't hate what you're doing with National Treasure because he may be the second best horse, and you cannot overlook Bob Baffert. And I mean, you never know what he's going to do with a horse.
If I look up and that one's moonwalking down there and he's jumping up and doing tequila shots, I'm going to go back.
For sure, don't you?
Back my bank account up to it.
So here he comes. He's loaded up.
Yeah.
He's loaded up. He's ready to go.
Anyways, we kid about tequila.
All right, we hope. For all you that watch, that you enjoy the horse racing. And like I said, you don't have to watch it all. You can watch 4 times a year. You can watch the Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont, and then the Breeders' Cup. And if you ever came to watch the Breeders' Cup with us, came and watched it with us, you'd be hooked. I mean, it's a fun time. And these races are over in less than 2 minutes. And it's like, oh my goodness, I just won $100 on this one, crazy bet that I put in. And you don't have to bet a whole bunch of money, but that's what we're here for, cashing tickets. So anyway, anything else about the Preakness, Paul, that you want to mention, or anything that they should look at or think about, come get close to post time, if they're in a place where they can place a bet while they're watching the horses?
No, just watch the odds, because I like the middle tier of these horses is Mage, and then there's about 4 of them that are kind of, and then the rest of them, no. But I just watch the odds because the truth is, second and third is pretty much up for grabs here. I mean, in my opinion, unless he trips, falls, stumbles, whatever. So.
Well, I don't hate that. I think people are going to fall in love with First Mission just because they don't think Mage will be able to win, 2 legs, win the first 2 legs. I think there's going to be a lot of people betting First Mission, which will help the odds on Mage.
Yeah.
If it stays at 8-5, or if you get 2-1 on Mage,
anywhere even money or better, yeah.
I'd go out there and get a piece of him at that.
My pick changes. I just don't see it staying there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. Probably 3-5, 4-5. You got to hope a ton of people go out there and bet First Mission or bet Bob Baffert and the one National Treasure. So that's your Preakness rundown. That's gonna race 13 about 6 o'clock. Saturday evening. So I hope I can get off the golf course and find me a TV with the race going, and maybe join Paul for a drink as we watch it. So that'll be good.
The other version of Paul.
That's right. All right. So the other thing we're going to talk about that kicks off tomorrow morning is the PGA Championship, the second major of the year for the golfers. Paul.
Yes, sir.
I got a little history. Would you like it?
Yeah, I would love it.
All right, so this PGA Championship is being played at Oak Hill up in New York.
Can I grab a beer?
Absolutely, sir.
I was not prepared. You need one?
Well, how am I going to tell my story if you're not here?
Oh, you want me to? I'll be right back.
So anyway, PGA Championship gets kicked off in New York tomorrow. Got a good field. It's always fun about the PGA Championship because PGA pros get to play in it, across the country. Those guys that you've taken lessons from or seen at your local country club, they get to go out there and try to qualify for the PGA Championship. So it's a really cool open tournament. I guess it's completely open, not like the U.S. Open, but it's a good turn. I don't like that they moved it to where it is now. I always liked it being later in the year, being the last major and leading into the Tour Championship for some reason. It just seems like there's such a lull when you leave the British Open, and then you have to wait forever before you get to the Tour Championship. Now, I watch all the tournaments because I enjoy golfing, but for those casual fans that don't, they just tune in for the majors. They get the Masters, and then you would have to wait a little bit typically before we'd get to the U.S. Open, which is fine. It's, always on Father's Day weekend in June. So you would get there, and then you'd get middle of July, you get the British Open, and then sometime August, September, usually September, I think, or August, you'd get the PGA Championship. So I like that schedule better, but here we are in middle of May. We're just cramming it all in, which is good for us. I mean, at least there's something going on, right, Paul? We don't, we're not. We do a little bit of betting on the baseball. You got to be careful with that. I guess right now, I'll just go out there and load up on any team that's playing the Oakland Athletics and make
Boy, that hurts,
bet.
don't it?
I hate to say, but it's all about making money. So anyway, so in 1968, a little-known golfer by the name of Lee Trevino would go on to win his first major, and that was at this golf course. But it was the U.S. Open. It wasn't the PGA Championship. So Lee Trevino won the 1968 U.S. Open at Oak Hill, and he stayed with the Kircher family, who had a house on the course, and he stayed there to avoid hotel charges. So
of course he did.
And Mr. Kircher was a disciplinarian, and then he would not let Lee go out. Like that first Wednesday night, Lee was going to go out to a little local bar and meet some friends.
Yeah.
And the father would not let him go. He said, "No, we're going to go down here to the hole number 2, and you're going to chip and putt and hit some sand shots."
Oh, Lord.
And would you believe that Lee did that? And then he goes on to win the U.S. Open. So, and then they become best friends. And he even made it. He stayed friends with the kids too, and because they had the kid on the Golf Channel the other day talking about the story. So that's pretty cool. Little Oak Hill history moment for you for the PGA. So let's get into it. Who's going to win this thing?
I don't know. I had a little story.
All right, well, go ahead.
I was going to tell you about Walter Hagen. I found apparently he won it 4 times in a row back in the early 20s. After the first time he won it.
Now you're talking about the PGA, right?
Yeah, he won it, and then came back, and they're asking because it's the Wanamaker Trophy.
Yeah.
The guy who started the PGA. Anyways, so the second year he comes back, and they were like, "Where's the trophy?" He's like, "Well, I didn't bring it because I knew I was going to win."
Oh, that's
and they're
ballsy.
like, well, this is Walter Hagen, right? So like, screw it, whatever, So he proceeds to win 4 in a row.
That's incredible.
It's 24 through 27, I think, if I'm wrong. Anyways. So he finally loses.
Now I got to go find the trophy.
Yeah, they're like, "Where's the trophy?"
Hell if I know.
He's like, "I'm going to be honest with you guys. I paid the cab driver back in 24 to take it back to the hotel
Never
room,
made
and
it.
I ain't never seen it since." Well, come to find out, they find the trophy in the cellar of the company that makes Walter Hagen's clubs.
So it ended up at. How the hell did it get?
Well, it was some fishy shit. Of course, it was Walter Hagen, But anyway,
he told a lie so he could keep the trophy.
Yeah, he told a lie. So that is why they give him a replica of the Wanamaker Trophy.
Yeah, they keep it. Yeah, you just get.
So anyway, I thought that was fun.
Walter Hagen ruined the whole thing.
Yeah. Oak Hill has hosted 4 majors. None of the winners have shot under 10 under. It's always been 10 under or to even. You're probably not going to see a big number here either. Cool. No amateurs playing this thing. Only club pros and pros, which is really cool.
So it's not completely open like I was mentioning, but it is. PGA club pros get to play, so that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, the history of this whole thing is fun. All right. So
are you about to hit golfers?
Yeah,
a little bit about the course. Every green and every bunker was rebuilt in the last year, and they've added about 230 yards of links. I think this thing is approaching 7,400 yards, which is just not for. I mean, obviously for me, I wouldn't even want to. I'd probably play the ladies' tees if I had to go play that course.
Have you seen that video? That guy that's on the ladies' tee trying to tee off, and the guy is sitting up in the booth going, "Would the guy on the ladies' tee please back up and tee off for the men's tee?" So everybody starts looking at him. So he addresses the ball again. It's not teed up, nothing. The guy says, "Sir, would you please back up and tee off from the blue tee or whatever?" The guy finally pissed off. Something. Would the guy in the booth please shut up and allow me to take my second shot?
Second. He wasn't teeing off. Damn.
He had his pants around his ankles.
So
right, here we
you
go.
talk about, like you mentioned, no low scores. I mean, let's just talk about the close of this golf course. Just 2 holes. The 17th is a par 4, 502 yards. Now, I don't know the elevation there. I haven't looked what the slope is if it goes downhill, but 502 yards. You got to pound it 300 yards just to get a 200-yard second shot into. And these greens are probably not that huge. I mean, and then you say, got to the 17th. Thank goodness. Let's just get to the last hole, get a par, and get out of here. Okay. Welcome to the par 4 18th, 497 yards. I mean, just it's brutal 2 closing holes here. So, yeah, like Paul mentioned, this is going to be a tough test. You got to have some long hitters, but you got to put it in the fairway.
Yeah. With that said, all right. So I'm going to give you my DraftKings lineup, which I've been doing pretty good in DraftKings. I'm going to give you that, and then I'm going to go. I got some win bets that I put in yesterday also, and then I'm just going to talk about golfers in general.
Okay.
The one golfer that I don't know, most folks don't know, people who bet golf and do daily fantasy golf know, is Tom Kim.
Yep, he's been playing pretty well lately.
The guy, every stat that you can look at, tee to green and all that, driving accuracy. The only thing that he sucks at is putting.
Oh God! Well,
but last Sunday he played 18 holes and putted 25 times.
Okay.
So he may have gotten that figured out. When you shut that door.
No, I will.
I mean, all right. So that's one of the ones that I started with, just on daily fantasy wise. He's 20. Let me get my notes here. Yeah, he's $8,000 on DraftKings. Also took Russell Henley at $7,300. Driving accuracy, he leads the tour and putting it in the fairway. That's just going to be key to everything. I'm not saying Russell Henley will win here, but at 7,300, I just need a top 15, 20 out of him. I'll be happy with that. Went with Siwoo Kim at 7,100, just value there. All right. And then Adam Scott at 7,800, like Adam Scott here. Cam Smith at 9,300. I just like pulling for Cam Smith. And then Colin Morikawa at 10,300. That leaves me $300 on the table. And those are my 6 golfers in DraftKings. Just if anybody listening does DraftKings or just wants to see how I do, I'll let you know.
Those are the 6, huh?
Those are the 6 on my DraftKings. I also got 6 more to dial up for another debacle we got.
Yeah, that's right. I got to get those in. You got to get those to me. Okay. Let's just talk about some golfers. There's a golfer. I got his name on here, but he's dead to me in any betting situation ever.
He was dead to you 2 weeks ago too.
I know, and I don't even know why I did it in the match. We had the whole thing. So I got a win ticket right here, and you were like, "What are you doing?" And you were absolutely right. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. So he is the reigning champ. So Justin Thomas, reigning champ here at the PGA, but I won't be making that mistake again. I mean, he was decent at the Wells Fargo, but I don't trust his putting is all. He's changed his putting grip.
This is the tournament that Mito Pereira literally blew in the 18th hole, right?
Choked. I mean, absolute choke job.
It's not so much Justin Thomas won it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, it's tough to watch. You mentioned Cameron Smith. He's coming off his best finish at the Live, but I just don't know if he's completely healthy. No. If he is healthy, then yeah, but you could see it in the Masters. He wasn't all there. And then I'll mention one more, and then you can mention some. Jordan Spieth, I don't even know if he's going to play. He's hurt. I mean, don't put your money or anywhere because you don't know what you're going to get out of Spieth because he backed out of the Byron Nelson because his wrist was hurt. So you don't want a wristy, unhealthy wrist golfer going into the PGA.
Yeah. Really, just going through the list, I'm looking at the top 10 right now. Scheffler, Rahm, Shuffles, Day, and Homa. Sunjay M, the Golly. He's done got up there, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Cantlay, Wyndham Clark. Jason Day is one of those golfers nobody really ever talks about, but when he's good, he's great.
He's one of the best in the world. Well, he was at
yeah,
one time.
yeah.
I mean, before injuries and his mom. So, yeah, I got a little something on Day there. I don't mind putting a win ticket in on Jason Day.
Well,
He's coming on. He just won at the Byron Nelson. He's been playing well all year, and he seems to be healthy. So it looks like he can play 4 rounds without a back or the vertigo he had. He seems to be okay.
I don't know, like the Day at plus, it's 29-1. That's a good number.
Yeah, I like Jason. I like a win ticket on Jason Day, and I know you got yours, but I'm gonna 3 tickets are gonna be Jason Day. I'm going back to the well with Brooks Koepka. He fits this type of tournament, man. He just fits this tournament. Big game Koepka comes out, and you can cash that easy.
Yep.
I mean, he messed me up in the Masters. What do you got him at? I see you got your win bets. What do you got him at?
18-1.
He was 30-1 at the Masters, leading in the final round, and just blows it. He could not bring it home. I was sitting on that ticket so happy all day until they actually started playing golf, and it was all downhill from there. But he's a 2-time PGA champion. He actually won at Bethpage Black with another New York course, which is really tough. He fits this type of tournament. He can handle the distance, and he has the temperament to grind on a hard golf course. He just stays within himself, and now he's really, really healthy and playing well. So I look for big game Koepka to come out this week.
Yeah, let's talk about this golfer here for a minute, because I know he's near and dear to your heart, and I was going to bet him I didn't. It's Ricky Fowler, and I'm not done with him yet, and I still may do something with him. I don't know. Ricky Fowler is playing really good golf. He's not. I mean, you're always so scared that he just kind of fades away. He just goes away. He
just goes back.
Like he's also participated forever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to put your money on him, but he's as good as he's been in a long time.
He hit that stretch about 5 or 6 years where he just every tournament. If you were doing anything, you were putting money on Ricky Fowler, and he was top 5s, top 10s, and he was winning tournaments. He never could get that major. He did pretty well in some majors for a little stretch there, and then he goes and wins the Players Championship, where he just dials in 3 shots on the 17th hole. You're like, what in this kid's just got it all. It's like, here we go. Here's his time. Yeah. And man, ever since that tournament, I mean, he just had 2 to 3 bad, and it was in the doldrums the last 2 years. I mean, barely kept his card. He has battled his way back to he's inside the top 50 in the world now. And so and I bet most people don't know that. I mean, he's just
you can get him at 75-1.
He's playing really consistent golf. I mean, and I've always liked the kid. I mean, he's always just been fun to watch. He's a little flashy, but not too. I mean, it's fun. It's better than watching Justin Thomas plot around a golf course all day long. God's sakes! I mean, get out of here. Go play bocce ball or something. This guy. Anyway, I love Ricky Fowler. He would be a sleeper, probably. I don't know what top 10 you could get him at. Probably get him at plus 20-1 or something, maybe top 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd put it up.
If I looked at, I wonder what top 5 would be like. If it would be like 40-1, I would probably definitely go throw in a ticket for that.
Yeah,
just for a little nostalgia. Just go get him, Ricky, kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't have any money on him yet. When I say yet, if he's hanging around Friday afternoon around, a couple shots back or something, I can still get him at 15-20-1. I might go get him.
That's right. Yeah.
I love the live bet to golf. Oh boy. Ain't nothing funner than having a golf in the interest on Sunday afternoon.
Another guy that you got to keep your eye on is you didn't mention him, which is kind of odd that I didn't see or hear his name. Cameron Young. I mean, you talk about a guy who's just waiting to bust through, waiting to get that big win. He's third in driving distance on the tour, which is going to help here. He's got 3 top 10s in his last 4 majors. So I mean, he competed in the Masters. He was right there all week. I really like Cameron Young because he can, if he's driving it straight, if he's hitting the fairways, the kid can go get this course where some people can't. They're hitting. So on some holes, if he's hitting 6-iron, they're hitting 4. Because he gets it down there, and he won't be in the rough. So long as he drives it okay, it's good. So, and one guy I'm tossing out is Roy McIlroy. He leaves the tour in driving, but he's 172nd in strokes gained putting. That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, they gotta do better than that, boss. I can putt like that.
One guy to watch out for, and just because he's making a change, Patrick Cantlay is getting Joe LaCava on his bag. It might just be the change he needs to get that big win. Yeah. And of course, you're not going to get good odds, but 2 guys that you got to mention just because it's golf is Rahm, who's on absolute fire, and then steady Scotty. I mean, Scotty Scheffler's there in every damn tournament. You look up, there he is on the leaderboard. There he is.
I don't know what shrink Rahm went to, but
he's got it turned around, hadn't he?
Whoever that is, that's that Roy McIlroy.
He's making
McAvoy, not McIlroy.
That shrink is he's getting his money. Well, Rahm's getting his money's worth. Is whatever he's paying that guy, it's worth it.
I don't. It's loud. All right, so I really don't. I mean, I'll give my picks here. Some of the golfers I love pulling for Willie Z, of course, Zalatoris, and then Victor Hovland. Like watching them do well. Didn't bet on them, but I just like watching them do well.
Yeah.
Like I said, so I got Cam Smith plus 2,800, which is 28-1. Brooks Koepka, 1,800, 18-1. Terrell Hatton at 40-1, and then Patrick Reed at 100-1.
Hey, could you introduce Hatton to Rahm's shrink?
Yeah,
because maybe that'll help Hatton get that major win.
There's a few golfers out there that I left out of here, Morikawa and Matsuyama, who have been so good to me. Hatton almost got in there.
Earlier this year,
he almost got on the mantle.
Yeah, almost got you.
I'm gonna give you another shot at it.
Give it another shot. Yeah, a couple of golfers. If you're looking for DraftKings lineups or major, a lot of people play in major pools. Like I run a majors pool where you pick 6 players, and so anyway, Sung Jae-im, he's not a long hitter. It's like he can't hit it very far, but he doesn't miss fairways, and so if he's hitting the fairway and he's getting it close enough in proximity to the hole, he can go out there and score. He's very steady. And a guy who's now getting healthy, tall, long hitter, Harris English. Watch out for Harris English. He seemed to move on from his hip injury. He was 2nd at Arnold Palmer, 3rd at Wells Fargo. So maybe a guy that you're looking at, maybe getting the top 10, top 15. So if you're doing those pools, those DraftKings, he's a guy that you could get at a lower amount. Or, however your pool is done. Harris English may not be a bad name to toss in there. At least if it's like our pool, you just need different names. You don't want to have those ties.
You want 2 that everybody's got, and you want 4 that
nobody's got. That's right. So yeah, there's some. So if I'm just betting and I'm putting out, when I put out my win tickets, it's gonna be Brooks Koepka, Jason Day, and I forgot Tony Finau. He's my other. I think he's got to find his major somewhere. I mean, the kid's got the game. He's got it. 4 days. Come on, Tony, for 4 days, put it together, baby. So Brooks Koepka, Tony Finau, and Jason Day for me. Paul gave you. Oh, and a Cameron Young. I think I was going to do 4. Cameron Young.
No.
And then in DraftKings and pools and things like that, I'm definitely going to look at Ricky Fowler. I'm going to look at Sung Jae-im. I'm going to look at Harris English. And I'm going to kick Justin Thomas down there to the curb and hope somebody runs over him. Not.
That's rude.
Rude. That's just, man, give me something. It's like vanilla.
Before we get done here, I'm going to say something, too, about some not to do with golf or nothing. Just in betting in general.
Okay, so there's the PGA Championship. You got our win bets, our pool type player bets, and remember you can live bet golf all weekend. You don't just have to get it in prior to them teeing off tomorrow. The odds will change obviously after leaderboard, but remember some of the names we mentioned today. Maybe you can go out there and get you a number, get you anything over 15-1.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Still, I mean, we still live in the butthole of America as far as betting goes. Can't do online gambling legally, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All right. So, as my adventures, I walk around casinos, whatever, go to the kiosk, make my bets, whatever. And I talk to a lot of folks that bet here, and they go to a local casino and they bet. Still seeing a lot of this $5, 15-team parlays. All right. So, here are. If you're listening, maybe 2 years from now, you may hear this. There's no way in God's green earth, if you're betting $5, you're a rich man. You're not a rich man. So you're just trying to steal
make
one.
that one big hit.
You're trying to steal one. Okay, that means either you probably have a job. Okay, you probably have a job.
Yeah.
One
would hope.
There's no way that you have a full-time job and you have time to accurately study 15 winners.
Mm-mm.
So what you're telling me is you're throwing $5 in a machine and guessing.
Yeah.
And if you're guessing in sports gambling, you're not going to win. It's not stop this shit. Please stop it.
Quit wasting your money.
Yeah. So if you want, all right. So here's what I want you to do. If you're one of these guys that do this, take the same $5 that you're going to bet on that. Take you 4 teams. Okay, you might get 6-1. Don't worry about what you get. So if you hit it, you get $30.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your same unit next time, $5. Okay?
Yeah. It's
a hell of a lot easier to hit 4 than it is 15. You can study and feel confident about 4, but there's no way you're going up to a kiosk, putting 15 teams in there, and you've actually researched every game. You're never going to win guessing at this shit. You're not going to do it.
Paul, they haven't, because when we walk up to the machine, what do those people putting those bets in say?
Man, what you think about this game? What you think about it?
Who you like today?
Yeah, what you think? They don't even have time. I don't know who's injured, who ain't, who's starting.
Right, I mean, he's absolutely right. You can't do it that way.
No, I'm saying this because we're all on the same team. We're all against the casino. Stop that crap. Just stop it, man. Take your wins. I'm telling you this because I had to learn this shit. Take your $40 win. Take your $60 win. Take your even money win. If 5 gets you 10, that's 10 you didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Just build your bankroll. Work on it. If you keep sending just rockets out in outer space, hoping they come around and hit something, you're just never gonna get there.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's my rant.
You had your rant for today? All right. Well,
I mean, I'm talking to the listen to me.
Not only that, you're spending all the time at the kiosk.
Yeah, that's another.
I'm
thing.
trying to get in there, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
And if other people are sending you, make sure they have their bets ready. Don't be on the phone trying to figure it out.
Yeah, if your unit's $5, everybody's unit's not $5.
Or just pick. Do. If you're doing 15-team $5 parlays, use a coin.
Man, get it over with.
Flip the coin, go pick a team. Flip the coin, pick a team. Whatever. Yeah, Paul's absolutely right. Quit that shit. Go do your 4 teams, get your $30, and then roll that back into something else.
Really
and then build.
Really not trying to bet shame people, but kinda like to knock that shit off there.
Hey, no, you want to do $5? That's great, but like you said, structure it. Do 3 or 4 teams that you like. Get your $20-$30. Now you got $35. Now go do your 3-teamer. Yeah, then maybe you got $100.
Yeah, set goals. Don't change your unit. If $5 a unit, don't change your unit. Stay there.
Keep that unit, or do that. Yeah.
If you get up to $100, then you go, hey, maybe I'll go to 10.
Yeah, that's right.
However you want to do it, just stop that madness, please. Anyways, all right, I'm done with it.
All right, so I hope you enjoy the Preakness edition of Cash and Tickets. We gave you everything we knew on these horses. I hope you go out there and find you a way to bet it to make some money. and or just sit back and enjoy it. Throw you on a fancy hat and watch the Preakness, and maybe just watch Mage bring it home. And hey, if he does, great. That we get to see if he can win the Triple Crown come Belmont time. So we'll probably be back in what do they do? 2 or 3 weeks before the Belmont.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry.
So we won't have another major before then. The next major will be Father's Day weekend. That'll be the U.S. Open, and Belmont should be before that. Maybe Memorial Day weekend, or when do we get to handicap the? That'd be 4th of July. We get to handicap the Nathan's hot dog eating. We're just ready for football to come rolling the back around. So anyway,
we're gonna do some more betting stuff here coming up. Just as far as just general betting, because there's a lot of things, and I run into this all the time. If you don't know, like I said, we're in the infancy of sports gambling in Mississippi. A lot of folks just don't know the different things you can do.
That's right.
And we're gonna talk about a lot of that shit. We're starting. Just ride with us. We'll get you there.
We'll all get there at the same time, and maybe we'll all have all the money.
All the money.
That's right. So, anyway, thanks for joining us on this special edition with the Preakness and the PGA Championship and Paul's little $5.15 team parlay rant. And anyway, thanks for joining us. I'm Franklin. That's Paul. We'll catch you next time.